Hi, Stephen. I just did another course visit in here. I've looked at your class a couple times, yours and Brady's, just to try and get acclimated and to understand it a little bit as I review it. So here it is. I have a bunch of questions, so I was just gonna look at the Excel documents with you just so you can kind of help me know what you're doing in the different areas. The most helpful thing for me was attending your teaching group meeting where you kind of showed the different places in your classes. So um, I was looking here to see any assignments left to grade. It looks like the Power of Process one um, is due to grade, but then I don't see them. Anyway, so it's just a lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense to me. But okay, so looking at your report so far, I just said you're doing a great job piloting, also staying current on grading, which is a huge accomplishment, and conferencing with students. Your notes are kind of the only thing for me that, and we knew this kind of looking at it before, they're just not very informative. You know, you don't really forecast much for students, and I don't see you building faith in the classroom. And you talked about those two concerns before, just that as a, as a place to do these things, it's just hard to do that in McGraw-Hill. The one thing you could do if it interested you, just sort of to earn higher points on your notes. Sorry, I'm not being able to go back. Is when it gets to your notes, you can post videos. Say, look at this to understand how, here's what I'm looking for in the draft, and then you can just talk to them in a video, and that could be helpful. You can also share spiritual thoughts there. You can create a spiritual thread there, again, so that you're building faith in Christ. I mean, it's a place with possibilities. I think you can do more in there. And then I just evaluated as well as I could, but I don't see much. So I don't see where you're building faith in Christ. I know that you do that in your correspondence with your teaching group, so I'd imagine you're also doing that in emails to your class, but let me know so I can give you credit, I guess, for what you're doing and where you're doing it. I couldn't find any evidence of it, but that's just my visit, so I'm wondering where it is if it's there. With developing relationships with and among students, I noted that you're conferencing with them, you're answering emails, I'm sure, and questions on your notes pages really well. You're posting feedback on small assignments, which I saw when you presented in your teaching group, but I can't find it when I just look in your classroom. So what else are you doing to develop relationships? I mean, you're already meeting standards there. I just want to know more about what you're doing to develop relationships with and among them. And then inspiring a love of learning. What are you doing to inspire a love of learning? And I would think that a lot of that would be in your feedback and in your emails that I can't see in the course. So I'm just wondering what's going on there. Let's see. Embracing university citizenship. I said you're excelling. You led a great teaching group meeting. You've helped administration understand your pilot experience. You sent out inspiring reminders to your group. And I recommended you as an AIM because you do such a great job in all these areas. So keep that going. You just do beautiful things there. And I'm just wondering, what are you doing to seek opportunities to broaden your understanding of your discipline? What are you doing to grow as an instructor, and specifically in course content in Foundations English 201? I know you're learning the pilot as part of it, and I'm wondering what else you're doing, just so that I can reward you and make comments about that. And then when I looked at, I couldn't find an instructor profile. Don't know if you guys have one. I thought you had one, but I couldn't find it. And I just talked to you about your notes from instructor, just really basic. What are some things you consider doing to make them actually, like a key place that students go to help them? Do you have announcements somewhere? I can't see them. And I'd love it if you could. I can't see many discussion boards beyond the icebreaker assignment, so I'm just wondering if there are other places where you all talk to each other and gain insights from each other. I clicked on a bunch of discussions, and they were really just journal entries, or there wasn't really discussion. So if you could help me know, that would be great. And then the grade book I really struggled with. I could see students and how many points they have, so far. But I couldn't see grades, and I know that that's something that's just not built into McGraw. But I would really like to know, I know you're trying to stay ahead of the, grade within 5 days, so I just want to know if you're achieving that, which would put you at a 7. And then assignment feedback. I know you offer feedback because I saw it in the teaching group meeting, but I can't find it when I review your class, so maybe just point me to what I need to do to actually look at your feedback because I can't find it. So those are my thoughts as I'm going through your course. If you don't mind answering, just to recap, the things I'm wondering about are, what are you doing to build faith in Christ? Any other things you're doing to develop relationships with students? How are you inspiring a love of learning? What development opportunities are you seeking? And then, is there a profile? Are there some things you'd want to do to build your notes from instructor? Because right now, I'd say that little to no content is present. There were a couple times when you posted something like, hey, make sure that you post a draft, because you can't submit a final unless you post one. So that's helpful. I think that goes into meet expectations, but other times it's just really short to the point with nothing really added. So I want to know if this is somewhere that you want to develop more throughout the semester. Do you have announcements, discussion boards, any meaningful discussion boards? And then if you can help me see your feedback, that would be awesome. So I know that's a lot, but just to help me assess your class, I'd really like that help. Thank you for the good work you're doing. I look forward to hearing back from you.